And we are live, I think. How's it going, everybody? It is Sunday morning. I'm just down here in the basement again. I got nothing to do other than was given the order by the missus to start my share of the purge. All this junk behind me is stuff we're going to send to the landfill and recycling places. Now, of course, I looked that up yesterday, and the main one for all the chemicals and all that stuff, that's closed, which probably means that maybe the other landfills where I can have everything sorted, have a lot of wood and metal sorted, that we'll have to wait, and plus just general junk that we have down here. So anyway, I'm going through the last little bit of stuff. You see stuff here behind the couch. That was part of my last bookcase, and it's just full of little knickknacks. I have stuff in here, so what we're going to do, pretty slow this morning, because it is Sunday, so I'm going to wait for the news conference to start in a few minutes for Nova Scotia. We can take a listen to that in a bit. Also, I got Twitter running here, just my regular feed, and of course you got the YouTube chat, and I'm just going to flip that over to live chat. There you go. So if you guys got anything going on, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna parse through this thing of junk and check it, because I got nothing else to do this morning. It's Sunday, man. I thought I would have all this stuff that I could do, but no. Let's oh, which one's this? Got that? Okay. Just doing a little bit of flinging around here. Alright, let's set this up. And let's pause that. I don't need that running. Pictures. Back when I was some pictures of me back when I was running and fit. That wasn't too long ago, actually. Yeah, quite a few of us in these running pictures. This was before we all had kids. Yeah, we don't run anymore. Let's see, a whole bunch of Christmas pictures. Don't even talk to a good chunk of these people, which is too bad. A little piece of leather. This was part actually of my when I started doing leather work. I had picked tool leather, which is the really thick stuff, which was, man, damn near impossible to work if you're doing this for the first time. So I did a few things with it, and then I discovered the thinner, or the 4 or 5 ounce leather, that you can actually do stuff with it. So got me some orienteering punches. This was back when I was doing geocaching, and I needed to part of the geocaching programs. This was when I was doing stuff with Parks Canada, and part of the game was the box had these orienteering punches that you would punch your passport, and then based on the combination, we would change this out, and based on the combination of punches, you would be able to present your finished passport and get a coin. And we were one of the first ones to do that, pretty much in North America. I'll hang on to that there for a second. This is a business card for a car salesman. Don't think he has that guy's still working. Medical tape. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I have in these More pictures during the running days. What's this here? Sports Shield prevents chafing and blisters. This was given to me by the running room. They wanted me to try that out. Don't know if there's an expiry date. Apparently, it was better than that other stuff you put on there. Let's see what else we got. More pictures, more stuff. Don't need. This is all part of my project bin. A little bit of camo duct tape again during the geocaching stuff. Actually, listen to the geocaching things. Got the chat going on, folks. If you're watching on Twitter, if you got something to say, right here. Got the Twitter feed here going on. A lot of people are doing. A lot of people are jumping on the Zoom. Zoom seems to be the audio visual. Oh, I'm going to keep this. Audio visual tool to use for group video conferencing or chatting. Personally, what the frick is this? No, junk. Personally, I use WebEx. Workplace, we're using WebEx, and that works pretty good. No complaints about that. The other thing is it's a corporate tool, but Zoom. We had Zoom for a little bit in terms of using it as video conferencing, but it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good, so we switched over to WebEx. And yeah, it looks like people are doing that now. I think I've noticed a lot of them are offering stuff for free for doing stuff for free. 40 minutes on the Zoom, and then same thing WebEx. You can do stuff for free too. So I'm just going through my little bin of junk. Oh, here's a blast. I don't know if anybody still uses this or not. Hey, Bluefin. How's it going there? Finally made it back on shore, I hope. Just going through my bin of junk. So I have here this is a hard drive. This is a hard drive I used to upgrade my old MacBook. So since I am not using it anymore, I need something heavy so I can smash it. Hard drive. I don't want to make too much noise here, but we'll just do it this way. Oh, that hurt. Do that over here. There. Hard drive should be non-recoverable now. Let me do another crack here. There we go. There. The hard drive is destroyed. Recycle that. So I have different bags here, so I'm just going through all my junk and just getting rid of them. Another business card. These are this is cool. I have 2 sets of these. I have the Leave No Trace Canada cards. I don't know if anybody who's been outdoors remember these things. This is basically when the Leave No Trace ethics came out. Really came into popularity, at least around here, a good 12, 15 years ago. And basically has basically it's a card that you kept with you to remind you of the 7 principles. Plan ahead and prepare, travel and camp on durable surfaces, dispose of waste properly, leave what you find, minimize campfire impacts, respect wildlife, and be considerate of other visitors. And they have a whole bunch of different little bullet points, tips for you to do here. So it looks like Bluefin, I'll go home Monday if all goes well. Hopefully you'll have some calm weather. I know the wind, at least here in Nova Scotia, was quite breezy all weekend. Even today, not so bad, cold. So, and I saw on the windy, I saw things were kind of swirling around in your neck of the woods there, Bluefin. Anyway, so I have the French version, have an English version. The funny story I have about that was when, again, back in the geocaching world, we were trying to push that I ran the organization here, and people, there was one guy who was complaining about it, and it's like, what about leave no trace is a silly thing to do, because what about if you needed to, what if people get lost and search and rescue needs to go find you? They're not going to find your footprints. And search and rescue does different things in order to find people rather than look on the ground for footprints. So those are one of these asinine explanations here. And I'm going to keep those. Keep that. What do you think this is? It's not the legal weed. Oh, spices. However, the container may be useful. This is when I was pretending I was a backpacker. I would pack all my little containers. This is these little container sets here to put your spices and stuff. That didn't last long. Got some rope. Don't need that. Got an adapter for something. Don't know what that could be, so that may have been something I don't have anymore. Ah! This is of use. A large cast iron skillet. But that was when I got my Dutch oven, and this is just the catalog. This is just the catalog of the Dutch oven stuff, so it's not the recipe book, which is somewhere else in here. I was gonna do a whole series of videos on Dutch oven videos using the cookbook. Oh, this is too bad this doesn't work anymore. There's little night eyes, little light tag, doesn't work. Tea light, very big. This is from my original IKEA tea light collection from 25 years ago. Still have some of these tea lights left, but you know what? When the lights go out, it's good. Oh, that was a good discussion point me and the missus had. Mrs. works for the power company, and this is a back door of a something. She works for the power company, and basically she was saying how they're at a heightened level to maintain the grid, and she was saying mostly it's because of the fact that the shift in consumption, everybody's home, so instead of having peak time in the morning when people get up and peak time at supper time before they go to bed, well, now all that stuff is spread out because everybody's at home. And plus you have these big buildings or companies that are shutting down, production plants are shutting down, and all that stuff. So, you know, you're trying to figure out if things are going to stay open or not. All right, what do I got here? Nova Scotia, Queens County. So I got here what's called a geocoin. This is from Queens County. Back in the day, back in the geocaching days, where I was doing a lot of stuff. I got a lot of metal. A lot of wire, geocaching stuff. Oh, this is a nice, this was a nice blast for the past. I got a little carabiner here, Keene, Canada. That was when I was an ambassador. Or back at, or the, what was it? Yeah, that was the joke. They used to call me the ambassador. That was when they call it when you were doing influencer marketing. All right, what the YouTubers are doing now, I was doing it before that, a while ago. So what they would do is, keep that anyway. Little one might find that useful. So what happened was with YouTube, and I was with the organizations, and had a website. Website was running pretty good back in the day before YouTube really started to take off for me. I just approached companies and I said, "Hey, I'm here to do stuff and send me stuff." And Canada was just developing that market. So yeah, the Canadian Keen sent me like 4 pairs of shoes, which was really awesome. And then I had a pair of shoes for each season. I still got 2 pairs left from that original thing. I have the sandals, the CNX sandals. I think it's the Clearwater, I think it's called. I think it's still what's available now. They had 2 sandals at the time. And then, or the minimalist sandal. And then I got, there's a pair of lightweight hiking boots, which I don't think they make anymore, which I wear sparingly. But all the other stuff kind of fell apart. I got 2 of these. I got 2 of these things. Mountain Desert Island and Acadia National Park, complete hiking trail and carriage road map. So back in the day when we used to go down there for a little bit of camping, and that was when we had the small tents. We didn't have anything huge. Nowadays we've got the Kodiak canvas, so that's gonna be interesting. All right, so I got 1 basket empty here. Let me query my trash bag. Now let's get something else. All right. This is the highlight, kids. This is the highlight of watching me go through my garbage. We're just trying to clean up the basement. This is the last bit of stuff we need to sort. And I took apart an IKEA PAX. I don't know if anybody remembers what that is, which is a big wardrobe set. And we had that for about... That was during Montreal days, so that was definitely 2002 era. And that thing survived quite a few moves and was a fantastic wardrobe. And we used it mostly as to hold like my junk and my clothes. The problem with IKEA stuff, like everybody knows, is great to furnish an apartment or a new place with, but heaven forbid you need to move it around, because once you start taking stuff apart, all that particle board, all that stuff, doesn't last, right? It's a picture. I didn't take it. Looks like New York. Well, if it's not in a frame now, ain't gonna be. This is for my friend here, Smoking Ape, who's doing a lot of ham radio stuff. My FT60R manual, which I pulled out because I forgot how to use mine. Of course, I'm not using mine anymore because people are just not active here, and all these old fogies and man, don't want to deal with that. All right, here we go. Talking about tents. Kodiak canvas. This cabin tent, 12 by 9, is a ginormous tent. That's good. All right, power bar. Okay, I need to move. I'm gonna have to start putting some stuff. Here's another map. Topo map. Probably a little bit out of date. This is when I really got into search and rescue and started really learning about topo maps and navigation and all that stuff. 1832. This is a bell. Oh no, sorry. It's probably a 1914. This was a brass bell that I found in an old shed we had on the farm, and the shed was kind of like a garage feed store. It was a house. It was my grandfather's house, And one of the cool things about it was that they had sawdust and newspaper as insulation or the wallpaper back then. So I was able to read some, you go through it and see, the early 1900s paper on the walls, that kind of stuff. But I found this within the junk, and the story is that grandfather had bells on his work horses when he went in the woods, and they would have this. So I've kept this. I've had this for about 30 years, and I haven't really done anything with this yet. So I do have, it's probably not in here, I do have blocks of wood. I don't know if you guys remember the video. I did a quick video of, I bought a whole bunch of knife blanks here, a bunch of Holta4 and Mora knife blades, and I was going to basically over the winter make myself knife handles and stuff. That didn't last long, but there's a nice piece that I could probably use as a handle for this, maybe shape that, and then try to find something for the bell. Make an old dinner bell or something you put on the wall or something. I don't know. This is going to be convenient. Grocery bag. This is supposed to pack into itself. I think. Yes. This is supposed to be a packable one. No idea where the snap is, so we'll figure that out later. I'll put that over here. Because I'm going to need it now, because I got to bring my own bags for everything now. Screwdriver set, small screwdriver set. More stuff that I don't need. Expired passport, the holes in it. Oh my god, this was so funny. I gotta tell a story about that. So so when we moved into this house, we going through the whole stupid process of changing addresses and everything like that. And then at the same time we had to get our passports renewed, and because I think I was traveling or something like that. Anyway, point is I had to get my passport renewed, and wasn't really thinking of it, had done it before, but I would when you needed your required documentation, I just throw in the originals, right? So when the passport came back, well, the post office, there was this lady, oh my gosh, she was just painful. Anyway, she was giving us a hard time, so so when I wanted to pick up the passport, I needed ID. I said, well, the ID is in the envelope because I needed it. So I had my driver's license, but because we had moved, I had a temporary stick-on of my new address in the back, and that kind of had washed off a little bit because, got wet in the winter, whatever. Anyway, she didn't want to accept it. It gave me such a freaking hassle. Anyway, I finally called Canada Post guy, and it's like, any government ID. And I said, even an expired passport? Any government ID. So I went back with my expired passport, to prove my identity, and got my documents and stuff. Oh, a few times I got a little bit upset, but anyway. Garmin charger. Don't need. Supposed to have the press conference here. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can get this on.
You can still go outside, but you walk to exercise, not to socialize. Stay in your neighborhood.
Listen to this too.
Walk around the block or down the street. Our provincial parks are closed.
Let's take a listen.
If you go there, you are trespassing and your vehicles will be towed. You can get groceries, you can go to the pharmacy, but do not do it in packs. Identify a single family member who can do those errands. And if you are an individual helping neighbors, please continue to do so. We are working with our municipal leaders and our First Nation leaders. It is imperative that all of us follow the state of emergency
going on, brother?
and use common
Just listening
sense.
to
Currently, if you've traveled
let
outside
me
of
just
Canada,
adjust this.
you must self-isolate for 14 days.
We're just listening to the local press conference here to see what's going on. You can see in the Twitter feed. I know you can't see the video, but as you can see, I've been playing around with a certain piece of software.
Outside of Nova Scotia, you must self-isolate for 14 days when you return. This will be managed at ports of entry into our province. The ferries in Digby and North Sydney, our airports in Halifax and Sydney, and our land border with New Brunswick.
Oh, hang on a sec. All right, so I think I've heard enough. Heard enough here, but you can see in the Twitter feed, he is basically saying more shutdowns here locally. So he says here, provincial parks are closed. If you're there, you're trespassing, your vehicle will be towed. There was a humongous amount of people. Even this morning, I went to a park this morning. I needed to walk. I needed to get around here. So that's disappointing. Let me flip over to my EMO feed here. So I guess it says the borders of Nova Scotia will be tightened effective 6 a.m. tomorrow. Anyone who has traveled outside of Nova Scotia must self-isolate upon their return. Wow. State of emergency in effect. Wow. And do we have any more? Is there any more cases? I know the cases kind of jumped up yesterday. Wow. That's a little crazy, eh? All right, let's see Steve here. We are self-quarantining at the beach this weekend. Hopefully the weather's nice, Steve. Some beaches around have closed, but not ours. Yes, you're lucky. I think I was watching some videos on the weekend too. A lot of the RVers, you know, all these people, they got no place to go, which is something you didn't think of, eh? All right, another place that's closed, my Mountain Equipment Co-op card. Don't need that. They don't even give out the dividends anymore, if you remember. Not much of a co-op. Oh, man. So I'm just going through to get out of trouble with the missus. I am trying to go through the last bit of stuff. And I got bags here to triage, and I'm going through some baskets here. So it is, yeah, well, that's a little crazy there that Bortner's going to get tightened here. Wow. Emirates to suspend all passenger flights. Crazy. All right, let's listen. I don't know, let's listen to that a little bit more here. Might be a little interesting. I don't know. Let's listen a little bit more to this.
Enforce orders under the Health Protection Act related to both self-isolation and social distancing. The Health Protection Act authorizes the Chief Medical Officer to request police assistance to enforce his orders.
Oof.
This means that people and businesses will now face fines for violations or orders made under the Health Protection Act. Many Nova Scotians have taken Dr. Strang's advice and are following the order.
State of emergency government can control or prohibit
However,
assembly.
as the Premier indicated, many are not.
Wow.
We therefore have no choice but
Ooh,
to call upon
got some fat wood and chaga in here.
law
Keep that for later.
to enforce self-isolation and social distancing. In addition, effective today, social distancing will also now form part of the Chief Medical Officer's order, and police are also now authorized to enforce this order. Starting immediately, police now have the authority to issue summary offense tickets to people who are not adhering to Dr. Strang's order to self-isolate or adhere to social distancing. The fines under the Health Protection Act are for individuals found in breach of the order, $1,000 for each fine
Whoa.
for each day.
That is
And
getting
for
serious.
business
What?
corporations, $7,500 in the first instance and for each subsequent
Holy
day.
moly. Shit
People
is
can
getting
be
real.
fined on multiple days if they fail to comply with the law. Police and law enforcement have been notified of these enforcement measures and are ready to begin implementation today. We've engaged our police leadership. They have requested and
That
we are
is
able
huge.
to respond to provide them this level of authority.
That is huge.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the men and women in uniform who are on the front line, and as the Premier indicated, their efforts and actions yesterday were
Steve,
dismissed.
it's been very, very breezy up in my neck of the woods. I could not get my Mavic Mini out in the air. I'm glad you're able to. 3 dolphins. Ooh, that must have been nice. That must have been nice.
Thank you, Premier and Ministers. Today we're announcing 7 new cases of COVID-19.
Oh.
Unlike earlier cases, they are either travel-related or close contacts of previously announced
Well, that's
cases.
good. It's
At
related.
this point, none are related to local community spread. This brings the total to 28 cases of COVID-19 in Nova Scotia. 13 are between yesterday and today.
Huh.
The individuals affected range from people in their upper teens to into their 70s, and cases have been identified in communities across the province. Public health.
Okay, so
every
it
time we have
sounds like
rapidly.
So it sounds like we still got. Sounds like our numbers are going up slightly, but it's all base related on those original few cases here. So that's, in a way, that's kind of good. So things are being limited to the people who first got exposed, but these extra measures that they took is quite surprising. Oh yeah, that was a built-in battery. But yeah, I'm hoping to get the drone video out later in the week there. But it's the spring. It's a little breezy here. All right, Twitter. Just to recap, starting immediately. Let's go back to what Brett does here. So total number of cases, Nova Scotia is 28. Let's take a look at that a little bit later. Yeah, the biggest thing here is police can now issue tickets for breaching the chief public health officer's orders, mainly around social distancing. Currently fines at $1,000 per individual per day, $7,500 for businesses. Wow. So we're pretty far down. Okay. So almost 2,100 total tests have been completed in Nova Scotia, and I believe there was a testing thingamabobby opening up here. Oh, I know. I've been going out. Every other day just to get out of the house, go for a drive, not really interact with anybody. Maybe do some drive-through, but wash my hands. Doing that kind of stuff. Oh, look, a nameplate. Back when people cared about me. Yeah, this was... Oh, that is going to be very interesting. Depending how long this goes. But now I'll still have a job. Luckily, the missus, she's in a kind of a essential service kind of company role. So, not too worried about her. But for me, different... I'm not in the public sector anymore, so I can probably hold on for a little while, but probably not that long. All right, I got a Yeti Snowball, which I think I lost the USB connector that I use here. So if anybody wants that, keep it here. But I think I'm just going to bring it down to the Value Village, which is the Goodwill store that Steve has down there. So, Steve, what do you think of my text chat stuff here at the bottom? However, I noticed there that it is not quite Seem to be missing some stuff here. Seem to be missing some chat. They must be part of that. Let me try to rejig this thing here. Height, let's do 300. Not quite sure that's going to fix it or not, but oh, here we go. There we go. All right, let's see what else Steve wrote down here. Let's see, we got takeout last night from our favorite restaurant. It was sad to go in and no one there. They just have bags of food waiting for people to come in. Yeah, man. I tell you, same thing happened for us last Sunday. Like I said, we wanted to just get out of town for a few days. That was before they shut everything down on the Sunday. On a Saturday, we were in St. John, which was a few hours out of Halifax, and yeah, we went to like a Montana's, and it was deadly dead. And I can just imagine today, on my few outings in the truck, just looking through the windows of establishments, all the seats are up on the chairs, and of course now I'm getting low on booze. They haven't closed the liquor stores here yet, which is very surprising because Prince Edward Island closed their liquor stores and cannabis stores a couple days ago. I think Newfoundland did it too. I think someone's going to have to confer that to me. I don't think New Brunswick has. I don't think Nova Scotia has. So I'm going to have to go out a little bit later, get me some booze. So now, basically, social distancing at the liquor stores here. Bring my own bag and pack my own bag and pay with tap, no cash. So, indeed, Steve, this OBS software, I was playing around with it a little bit yesterday, and it looks like this chat here, I need to fiddle with it a little bit more. Let me just adjust this. So now I look like, I look like I'm a streamer, like I'm on Twitch. Let's see if this works. So basically, I have an image background, just explain, this is OBS, and if you have a Windows box, you will probably have a much better time with this. But with Mac, you don't have access to the same tools, but when you start getting a better look at the software, you realize that those tools doesn't really do anything overly special. Just helps you to do certain things better. One of them is to create a scene, which is this window right here. Not my chat window, the entire screen that you see on the live stream here. And every element here is either a window capture or a browser. So I have a capture window, which is my webcam. I have a window capture on the Twitter, and I got a window capture on my browser, which obviously doesn't work very well refreshing, especially when you're playing a webcast, which is, I don't know, or maybe it looks better on Google Plus. Probably not. Don't know, not sure. But anyway, point is, there's different things, and then this chat window, which is the YouTube chat window. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a CSS file that you can modify the style. The biggest thing to figure out is to get the pop-up. If you're watching it on YouTube, there's the pop-up chat option, and then you got to get that URL, and then you can apply some CSS on it. So there's a few people who have done some CSS on it, and then that's what you see right there for the chat. Looks all right. Got the sound going on here, so I'm still going through my junk. Basically pulling out some gems, what I want to keep, what I want to trash. Acadia National Park, back when patches were cool. I think I'll put that with my Acadia National Park trail map. Put that in here. Memories. Yet another Garmin power adapter, USB. That is going in the electronics pile. Unopened dental floss. I'll keep that. What's this? This was from my old MacBook. Don't use, doesn't fit anything anymore. You know, they're putting the thing of the emergency to limit people to go out and give fines and stuff, but yet the liquor stores are still open, which I find very, very different. All right, I'm gonna add this to the collection. USB port, USB cable. Not like I don't have enough of those, but when you actually do want a USB cable, like especially the old ones, oh yeah, I wonder if this is still working. Wet fire. I wonder if that still works. Let's see what else I got in here. Don't have anything to make booze. Oh wow, this is Alright. I got me an old busted, I don't even think I even have the charger anymore for this. This is a Garmin 605, 610. I don't think I have the charger for this. Yeah. Put this in my Garmin pile. Still working. Keep that. Hardware. Ah, this is awesome. This is still awesome. I got this. I don't know if did anybody have one of these? Mini disc. Man, I was a huge mini disc aficionado. Back in the day when I was doing some radio broadcasting, we were one of the first community radio channels that had purchased commercial grade mini disc players and really got to learn how to work with that. And then when I was long gone that, and I was in Ottawa and I wanted a Walkman, and I had decided to get this mini disc. I still have a stack of mini discs somewhere. Oh man, I have to dig this out. I don't know if I again, I don't know if I have the adapter to power that, but the great thing about that, it only used one AA battery, which is in here. It used one AA battery. Obviously it's dead. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a sec. Got my battery recycler bin. And I think I got another battery. Let me just test it out here. No, that's AA. Nope, that one's dead. I think it's dead. Man, I'll have to. I'm definitely gonna have to keep this and see what this what's in here. All right, a couple other batteries in here. We got C size batteries, which I have no idea what that is for. So I basically have a battery recycler, and I have a thing here where you can just test to see what the battery is like. I assume all these are all pretty much dead. These are bad. These are old batteries. Oh, wait a minute. Correction. This one's good. That one's good. Alright, we'll keep these. We'll keep these. Alright, I got the good stuff here a little bit later. I'm just gonna clean out some stuff here. I got, oh, there it is. Man, no idea where that was. Here's something, it's my friend there, Calvin's Corner there, another YouTube channel that I watch. He just, I love the videos where he just walks in the field and he finds basically arrowheads. And I can never tell if it's legit or if he's actually finding them for real. But anyway, this one is not an old one. This is 10 years old. This is again from when I was doing geocaching back in the day. We had one with the Nova Scotia Provincial Parks, which unfortunately you can't go to anymore. We had a geocaching program, and one of the rewards, we had first to find rewards. I think we were in 5 parks, and there was a first to find, and we had somebody from the Aboriginal community because it was about Mi'kmaq travel routes. So how the Mi'kmaq people use the waterways to travel from place to place, which would influence where we would settle in the province back in the day, where we burnt everything to the ground and you know, pushed them out. But now we recognize recognize that. So we worked with we want something to highlight Aboriginal culture, and one of the Mr. Glode, he's like an artist, and he made some of these arrowheads. And after I did the launch event, I was checking the logs, and I said, oh, you know what, this one's still available. So I went, and I really wanted one, so got it. So always wanted to find something to do with this. Got to do it. Okay. Thermometer for the booze. Don't know if that's any good or not. Seem to have a lot of booze stuff here related. Oh. Guys, you know what this is, other than not a pipe? Oh, is this like a bottle washer? It kind of shoots water up. Let's keep that for later. Piece of paper. Any money? Any money? No money. Alright, what's going on here? NSC outlets have been kept open, but access has been limited to reduce hours. Oh yeah, that's right, liquor store's not even open today. So why am I even thinking about that? Why am I thinking about that? Gotta... Don't need that anymore. Oh, here's another one. Are these still in business? Little bottle opener. Yelp. Could still use that though. Oh, got a buckle. Buckle, keep that. Don't need that. Ah, yes, this thing. This. I got this from Environment Canada. This is a carabiner with a thingy. You would put this, wrap this around the top of a water bottle, just standard bottle, and you would clip this around. So, not quite sure this is useful or not. They're doing the question and answer period time here. Oh, got some matches that will go into my black bag. Another micro SD card adapter. Tools. Okay, well, all right, I'm getting down to the good stuff. I've been kind of kind of been going through a couple things and of this bag here, so I'll show off some of the cool stuff. Some of the stuff that I was kind of proud to be involved. Let me just pull it out here. Got a couple. Let me just organize this here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the first thing that oh, put that. Hold my bell. All right, so the first thing I want to show off is again with man. We were talking about this the other day, but I was doing a lot of stuff for geocaching back in the day. But this is the patch. This is kind of like this was the crest, the high end of the stuff that I was doing there with parks. So by then with the stuff, so there was two groups. There was a group based out of Nova Scotia, which I was part of. Then there was a group based out of New Brunswick. The group out of New Brunswick, they kind of sucked. So we decided to be a little bit more professional and organized. And basically we did a lot of partnerships with Environment Canada, Parks Canada, and we're doing a lot of tourism programs or geo-tourism programs with the parks. And one of them was Kijimukujik, which was one of the last ones I kind of got involved with. But this is one we went totally crazy with, and I'm so proud with the work we did with that. So again, basically, you had every year you'd go to the park. There would be 4 geocaches spread out. They were designed to be multi-visits, so you couldn't just be there once. It was going to be there for a few years. So if you couldn't finish it in a year, you could finish it the next year, and all that stuff. And every year we would have a theme. So basically, we had a patch. First, you complete one. You get a patch, and then based on the year, you would get the pin for the theme for the year. And then the patch was a trackable. So down here, you would have a tracking number. You can track that out. And then every year, you would have it. So we would have the first year was the blue one there, which was stargazing, dark skies. And then we would have something on rocks. Forget this one, Aboriginal glyphs, fish. And then this was the one that I did after I left, and it was the only program that was kind of successful. I think it was fire. And then that was back in the day when Garmin was trying to do their own geocaching site. We had a whole bunch of open caching pins. So anyway, so this is a lot of hard work went into that. But then I realized, very heartbroken, how not a lot of people appreciated it. A lot of people did it. The problem with the geocaching stuff is people needed to complete. It's all about getting the numbers, like Pokemon. You gotta get it fast. Gotta get as much as possible, and wasn't truly appreciating what we were trying to do with it, which is one, get people into the parks. And two, you don't have to be there for 2 hours. Go and actually look around. So some of the stuff we had was insane. We had 32-kilometer routes that you could hike, bike, or paddle. So there was a whole bunch of adventures. You basically created your own adventure route and all that. So that was, anyway, I'm pretty happy with how that stuff was. And plus, the goal line is I would do it myself. Put all these containers, so I said, if I can do it, you can do it. Another thing I was kind of proud of doing here, which is this. This is the first geocoin that we made. And, oh, look at that. Activated, 2006. Logo I designed back in the day. So yeah, this is one of these hand punched pewter coins, and we were doing that as a fundraiser. So this is one of the few geocoins that nowadays with geocoins they do very limited runs, couple hundred. This was 10,000 coins, and we sold pretty much all of them. which was the provincial coins. So we would have a series of coins with the flag, all the flags of the Atlantic provinces. There's Newfoundland, and I do have a full set. Where's my set? Am I missing one? Oh, am I missing one? Oh, I'm missing the set. I'm missing my full set, yo. Horror, the horror. Ironically, it's PEI of all places. No, I thought I had them all. All right, I'll have to check into that. Must be somewhere. The other thing, and the last thing we did as part of the association, I wasn't necessarily too involved in this one. We did a crowdsourcing one. So basically, we were our 5th anniversary coin. We did pie shape coins, and then we had a scene from each of the provinces. And again, we had 4. So you would, when you were done, you would have a big 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do I have 5, 6? Why do I have so many of these coins? I should only have a set. Anyway, this made a big pie shape, so there you go. That's that. Which one's this? Oh! I don't know if you remember the Lorm, inReach, the inReach people before Garmin bought them. Eartha, which you can't go see anymore, down in Yarmouth, Maine. That was a shame. Good times. Folks at DeLorme were pretty keen. Their GPSs. A lot of people did the Garmin stuff. So, all right, Steve. We'll see you later. It's almost time for lunch for us too. And I'm almost done this bag. Got a few more coins here. Another one of note. Is this one. This was the first one. This is the one that military members, they donated. I think they added some money so that they can put their names on the coins. There's a whole bunch of these out. That's about it. All right. Well, I am done with this bin. And that was what, how long have I been on? Almost an hour. So, a couple things have you learned is that I still have a lot of junk I want to keep. I have a lot of junk I need to get rid of. I am getting fairly good at this OBS software. And if you want something to read, how about from the New York Times, you got the opinion piece by Scott Kelly, that astronaut. How to cope, take it from someone who couldn't go outside. Of course, we just had a press conference where we can't go outside. That's the whole problem. Follow a schedule, pace yourself. Go outside if you can. Need a hobby. Keep a journal. Take time to connect. Listen to experts. We're all connected. There you go. All right, folks. I think that is it for me on a Sunday morning. Hopefully this was somewhat entertaining. And we'll see you guys next time. Might be less junk.